Um, Great ideas don't really exist. They're kind of a joke. They there's just not really any such thing as an idea that's too good to fail. Everything you try to do can and will fail. It needs to. It needs to fail thousands of times. I am David Stout. I work at a library and I'm an independently con I'm an artist. My first sort of body of work and like all these pieces that I collected and put in this one booklet that I presented for my senior thesis at school and stuff was called Everybody's Alone. I like to beat people over the head with meaning, and with purpose, and with a statement. That's pretty intentional, and that's pretty, really melodramatic. But I also like things to be multifaceted. When I was a little kid, I was sort of turned off by art. I would draw some with just like pencils and stuff that were sitting around, or like I'd draw on computer paper. I wouldn't call myself an artist, but clearly the thing I was best at was either being completely lazy or drawing with pencils. Spite is definitely a huge motivating factor for me. I'm usually best when I'm directly contradicting someone. I met the most irritating, evil person I've ever met. His name is Noah Kirby, and he was a sculpture teacher, and I had him for 6 hours, 2 days a week, and he made sure that I didn't draw anything, and he wanted to take away the one thing that I had going for me and try to make me do everything else, and it made me furious. And as soon as the class was over, I took a day off from everything, and I decided to do the thing that would annoy Noah Kirby the most, and I drew the first thing that I saw for like an hour or two, and it was myself in the mirror with a Harry Potter shirt on. It was kind of something that I'd never done before. It was totally unified, and like kind of had this concept behind it that my other stuff hadn't had before. Loneliness is a lot of things. It's a narrowing of options. It can be hopeless, but it can also be extremely hopeful. I would never get any work done if I weren't left alone sometimes. And I would never get any dreaming done if I weren't left alone sometimes. Eric Hibbler is a guy that I met a couple of years ago when working at the library one day. And he was really the only person I talked to about my work. And we thought, if collaborating is a bad idea, at least we're going to collaborate on something that's a really, really bad idea and will at least end up funny. So we came up with the idea, which was Hamlet going through the undiscovered country in the afterlife, reincarnated as a woman. So we did lots and lots of drawings of space girls with like weird helmets and capes and just strange like medieval sci-fi things. And then lots and lots of drawings of aliens and strange landscapes. And we'd just send them back and forth, and then he'd paint on top of them in Corel Painter, and I would take his paintings and I would light them the way that I liked in Photoshop. We send stuff back and forth to each other every day. We don't expect it to be good. We don't even really expect it to be that interesting. It just has to do something that we've not quite tried before. And every day we're sending failures back and forth. But eventually, it kind of adds up, and maybe once a month, you get, like, Eric will send a painting to me that just makes sense. All of the things we've talked about finally are there. And we didn't get there because we were obsessed with succeeding or obsessed with this great idea we had. It's just putting all of the bad ideas you have together and waiting for it to kind of form into something that makes a little bit of sense. Greatness is a lot of really peculiar failures clumped into a coherent package. Success is boring, and talent is boring, and skill is really boring. Because life is not really about talent and skill and success. It's about lots of really messy stuff existing on a planet or in a galaxy, in the universe, and they're all just whirling around and bumping into each other and crashing and exploding at this insane rate, and it forms weird stuff.